Thank you very much. We now reconvene the open session meeting of Metro Fire District, and we have a report out from General Counsel regarding closed session items.
Thank you. The board met in closed session this evening to consider three different claims. First was the workers' compensation claim of Christopher Marsh versus Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. The board voted to approve the settlement of Mr. Marsh's workers' compensation claim. The vote was 7-0 with directors Kelly and Clark absent. The board also met to consider the workers' compensation claim of Dale Martin versus Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. The board voted to approve the settlement of Mr. Martin's workers' compensation claim. The vote was 7-0 with directors Kelly and Clark absent. Finally, the board met pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 Subpart A to discuss and consider the industrial disability retirement claim of retired employee Frank Miranda. No action was taken. Further action will be taken by way of a public session item under the action item agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council. And now we will return to that action item number 3. We have a resolution, industrial disability retirement for Frank Miranda, and it would be to adopt a resolution finding Frank Miranda suffered a job-related injury incapacitating him for the performance of his duties as captain, and direct staff to continue working with Frank through his industrial disability retirement process with CalPERS. Chair will entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Directors Monk.
Aye.
Gould.
Aye.
Orzali.
Aye.
Newcomer. Scheidegger.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Directors Kelly and Clark absent. Motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. Now, just before we move to board member question and comments, I do have an update on one of our committee reports. The next California Fire and Rescue Training Authority JPA meeting is going to be on Thursday, October 4th, 2012, at 900 hours, at 3012 Gold Canal Drive in Rancho Cordova. So that's an update for that particular committee report. Okay, so now we'll move to board member questions and comments. And Director Gould, would you?
Thank you,
Please
Madam
begin.
Chair. Appreciate the reports that were given tonight. Thank you very much for those. And I agree with my colleagues that the retirement consulting that we approved this evening is critical. I just think it's a wonderful opportunity for the men and women of this organization to think beyond the job. And what a great thing. I know that my employer does the same, and I'm very grateful that many years ago when I was a lot younger, I wasn't thinking straight, and somebody set me down and helped me plan my retirement. And as I get grayer, I see the wisdom in that. The other thing, and it's a silly little thing, but I think it's in one of those deals we need to at least address. Tonight in closed session on our docket here, I'm not going to say anything about closed session. It's all right, Gay. But it says Christopher Marsh versus Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. I don't like that. These are seasoned veterans of our agency. It should say Christopher Marsh and. To me, it's a small little thing, but it sends a message of like we're battling. And I understand the legalese and all that kind of stuff, but the reality is we're not in a big lawsuit and all those kind of, we're not battling. These are our men and women who are seeking claims. And that really is what it should read, or something like that. But when it says versus, it's like we're in some kind of battle. And it just left a bad taste in my mouth tonight when I heard it, that it's us versus them. I don't think that's the message we want to give to the men and women who are working for this agency. Like I said, it's a small little thing, like when I found that the city existed in a contract. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Director Gould. I appreciate that very much. Director Monk?
Thank you. Just a couple of things. This last 2 weeks, I've been involved with Supervisor McGlashan at her meetings with the community, both in North Highlands and Rio Linda. And one thing I wanted to bring up to our board is they had an update from the Rio Linda Water District that the pump in concern is being brought online October 31st. So a lot of the issues with low water supply, everything out in Rio Linda have been resolved or is being resolved shortly with the bringing online of the additional pump. So there was a member of the public that had some concerns about the fire district not doing their job and following up on that. And it was explained to them that it wasn't our job to enforce that for another elected agency, but that we did have some input, but that we chose to be politically correct and allow them to function as they should. But again, that pump will be online the end of October, so a lot of the issues out there will be taken care of. Wanted to also invite everybody, October 6th, the Rio Linda has their centennial parade in downtown Rio Linda. We'll have a little to do at the fire station, Old 111, out there, where we'll have some antique fire equipment out there, and Supervisor McGlashan will be out, and we'll be riding on one of the antique vehicles out there. Chief's been invited if he's available, and I'll be out there as well. A lot of community effort, a lot of community groups involved in it, so be out there showing our support. Chief, I wanted to bring up one other thing to you. I appreciate your comments on the Campbell Soup families and everybody out there. I learned yesterday through a friend of mine that Comcast called all of their employees out at 3 large call centers in California. And they were told yesterday that they're now unemployed. They're shutting down the call centers, moving them to Oregon, Washington, and Colorado because of the tax climate, political climate, et cetera. So we have a lot of people in our community that are going to be without jobs and things. So as the holidays come, I know last meeting I talked about the Thanksgiving project and thing that I worked on. We've run into some snags on it, but as the holidays come, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, anything that we can do as a group at Metro or anything you can do individually to help people that are needy, that are out of work, et cetera, in our community, because we are here for the community, would certainly be appreciated. And again, it's not for me, it's not for you. We're out there supporting the people that support us. So any support you can give would really be appreciated. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Mo. Director Rosali?
Thank you, Madam President. This evening, I'd like to commend once again the leadership at SAC Metro for the forward attitude that we've taken in doing the retirement planning. It is so critically important and something that should be much more pervasive, as I mentioned earlier. On another item, I noticed in the paper yesterday an article about the San Juan School District's bond initiative, Measure N, that they're going out for in November. And as a retired educator and now working with SAC Metro, I see a direct parallel between the support of that initiative and our own mission. The district has many facilities that are over 50 years old, and as such are in egregious disrepair. Even though they've done ongoing maintenance, it's still 50-year-old structures. And we have a direct concern for the safety and security of their staff and their students, and also for our men and women who might be going in support of an emergency in those facilities. This is an issue that makes a real difference for not only the San Juan community, but for the SAC Metro community as well. I would encourage anybody in the San Juan vicinity to look closely at Measure N, consider its impact long-term on their community. I realize this is a difficult time economically, but there are things that we need to supersede our own personal concerns, and this, I believe, is one of them. So please give that some thought. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Director Newcomer? Did get.
Only if you give it back.
I'd like to welcome the new employees and congratulate those that received promotions or are receiving promotions in the near future. Again, I'd like to thank the chief for his time this week in our meeting. And in my travels this month, and I believe it was during our last board meeting on this particular trip, on a Sunday morning, we woke up, had breakfast at the house, and my hosts, the wife, started a dialogue about who my fire chief was and who our EMS director was. I was in San Bernardino, And our staff is, and our district is very well recognized and looked upon very highly as having some innovative ideas, some practices, and the work that we're doing. And I felt pretty good that I've known these people for 10 or 12 years now, and we've never talked shop, and at breakfast on a Sunday morning, they're commending me for my relationship with the fire district and our personnel. So just want to thank everybody for what they're doing. Keep it up. It's appreciated. This agency is once again being recognized throughout the state for what we do. I think that's marvelous. And that's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Scheidegger?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to echo the comments of appreciation to this department for the retirement planning agenda. I think that's a terrific idea, and a consistent theme of mine that the chief commented on that I really like is the good business aspect of it. It's a terrific program. Our people need it, as other board members have said, but I think it's once again an indicator of Sac Metro in terms of how we're approaching this from a business standpoint. So good work, Sac Metro. Last, I'd just like to caution the chief on his upcoming vacation, make sure that he has all the necessary tags and permits for the clay pigeon hunting that I'm sure he's going to be doing, and make sure you bring him back fully dressed.
Well done, Director Scheidegger. Well done. Wow. Wow, well done. All right. Director Pearson.
Just wanted to say, again, BCN, I wasn't here for the presentation, but I read it, and having had the opportunity to use BCN, they are a nice organization to work with, and they do have many different programs that you can use, and it is going to be a big benefit to our members that is available. And to tail on with what Councilman Newcomer, Board Director Newcomer, thank you, was stating about Sac Metro. I just got back from the CSDA conference in San Diego, and I had the opportunity to sit in with a breakout session with our own Rhonda McFarland in there, and very well represented. Again, they're using Sac Metro as kind of a template, giving some ideas out there, and then the whole cost recovery type system and how we've broken down each employee and what it costs for them to actually do their job. That was brought up, and there are a lot of questions, and looking at the different problems that people are going with. Problems aren't so different. I think everybody's having similar problems, but the solutions are different. And we've positioned ourselves very well. And, as a board, we can take credit because we vote yes, but a lot of those ideas, they're all coming from our staff. We have incredible staff, and they are recognized across the state. I've said it before. I've gone out on strike teams, and I've worked with some of these individuals. And Sac Metro is very highly thought of throughout the area, and especially in the fire service as a whole, on the things that they're doing and the staff that we have working for us. We just got lucky. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, we have some incredibly talented people. So, we've got Rusty Dupre down there right now. He was part of the Ledge Council, and he had, he's helping out the special districts in that aspect. So we're well represented. It's an honor to serve with these men and women. And that's it. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I have a few items to touch base on. The very first one is thank you, each and every one of you. I concur with all the comments that my fellow directors have made. Well spoken. Thank you very much. Next week, I will be attending the CalAFCO Annual Conference, and I would like to say that one of the recurring questions, issues that come up, a recurring issue that comes up is fire district consolidation. And I consistently use Metro Fire as an example and a standard for the goals and measures and process to get there. So with that history of Metro Fire, it's a very, very strong, ideal pattern, formula for a lot of consolidations for smaller rural districts as well. And I'm very, very happy to be able to answer questions and engage in conversation on that topic with the fellow LAFCO commissioners. One comment that, an issue that came up in regards to our closed session items and retirements is a reminder to each and every viewer in the audience that the fire service is a really, really unique career because it takes the intensity, you have the intensity of a blue-collar job with all the physical challenges day after day, month after month, year after year, and you combine that with requirements of a high professional white-collar standard of work. And I think it's one of the unique careers that anyone can have, that you need to have a combination of all across-the-board types of career strengths, both the physical as well as the professional comportment that's necessary. And we need to think about that a little more, or appreciate it. We need to appreciate it and recognize it. It's a heck of a challenge, and that's what makes firefighting such a terrific career, because it really does combine aspects across the board of blue-collar as well as white-collar. And in the very traditional senses of those words, it's a heck of a combination. That's part of what makes it such a great career. The next item is, I would like to comment also, put my 2 cents of political input on the Affordable Health Care Act of 2010. Forever and ever, even since the 911 system was created, fire service, the fire departments and fire districts have been used as the bottom safety net for health care. And this gives us the opportunity to help balance and to help right this incredible upending of responsibilities, pressures, and what would be the word? The workload that has fallen on fire districts as first responders. They are the bottom safety net. They've been the bottom safety net for this entire country. And of course, here in our county, in our district, both our counties and the district. And I really have a lot of faith and a lot of hope and a strong, strong wish that for success on this area, so that if we could get out ahead of it, preventative care, that can help ease the burden on all of our emergency response agencies. And finally, another broader type of political statement here. In the last few weeks, I became aware of different sections in our community that the Metro District serves, and the issue was voter registration. And through the discussion, it came about that a lot of first-time voters of all ages felt that they didn't have to register to vote because it was just the presidential election, and they felt that with the Electoral College, et cetera, there wasn't any need for them to vote because they were already in California. And a discussion ensued that included the whole issue of down the ballot and the importance of getting involved in the local elections. So I would like to, one, thank Brian Rice, president of 522, for becoming involved in helping to distribute voter registration applications to for new voters, for first-time voters, and to help participate in that education. And would like to encourage each and every member of the board and staff, as well as folks in the firehouse, to encourage people to register to vote. It's a civic duty to spend some time and study those issues, but all the way down the ballot, especially at the local level, the elections impact your life. Business, personal, individual, student, government worker, whatever. The worst thing that can happen is what happens a lot is called the undervote, where people choose not to go through the ballot. Please encourage each and every one of us and our constituents, our friends and neighbors, study the pamphlet, call people, talk to people, and vote and go down the ballot and weigh, measure, and ponder each and every issue and election seat that's open. Please, I encourage each and every member to do that. All right, that is my soapbox for the evening. Thank you very much, and this meeting is adjourned.